So I don't know if I need to use all this chicken, but we're going to. And again, you can cut this depending on what size taco, but you don't want a giant piece of chicken in your mouth, in a taco. We have like street taco size, so we need to actually make it kind of small, because if one piece of chicken would fit in these if it was a large chicken. So that's probably enough for what we've got going on. So set this aside. Okay, so check our rice real quick and see that it's coming to a nice boil. Our liquid has come up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move it to the back to a smaller burner and just let it simmer, and with it covered. And you want to go nice and low. You don't want to go real high, because what that'll do is it'll burn. We don't want that. So now I need some oil. This is just salad oil. If I did olive oil, that's not the flavor profile I'm looking for. So I'm going to get some chicken browning in here. So I don't need to season this because I'm going to be doing some salsas, and I don't want to really get it over seasoned because it's going to cook down as well. Okay, so our pan is hot. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. Spread it out. Probably get it all in here. Stir it around. Okay. Get rid of the chicken. Wash my knife. Okay. And we're back. So our rice is going pretty good, and I want to turn it down even more than what it's doing there, because I don't want it to, maybe I'll move it over one. Move it over one. Okay, so it's not sticking at all, it's doing its thing. Like I said, it's going to be nice and slow. So our chicken, want to get some color on there. So I want to add a little pepper just for some texture, some onion. And again, it's a rather quick dish. That chicken's cut up, so it's not going to take too long. So I need to get vegetables in there quickly as we build this in there all together. Okay. Some colors. Now some onion. Don't need a lot. Okay, just like at home. I'm going to put a little jalapeno in, just because we can, and I like jalapeno. So the salsas we have a little depth to them, a smokiness, but I want a little bit of the bite from the jalapeno is what I'm looking for. So I can do all kinds of other veg, but I think we're good right now. So we got these going on. Chicken's probably a little over halfway done. So we're going to start creating our sauce. So we can use this double roasted tomato salsa. It has a great flavor. We could also add a little of this, I got fire roasted. So we got that in there. We get everything incorporated real quick. And we could put a little cilantro in there if we like. Just a coarse chop off the tops. It's going to stay in, so you need to make sure you don't want a giant leaf, but you also don't want to make it to where it just disappears altogether. So, okay, that's in there. Okay. We got this chicken going. So I think we need to add just a little bit of chicken stock. So we've got a little liquid, so it won't dry out. Lime juice. A tablespoon of that. Stir that in. Now if I'd put all those seasonings, if I did cumin and all of that stuff in here, then those salsas might have been a little overly strong for what we're doing. That's my chicken one. Check the rice. Would have had a little too much going on. So I don't want to overdo it. Okay, the rice is almost there. So we want to turn it down even more. It starts getting down to that point, you need to make sure that it's just doing its thing. It's got to let it steam a little bit, let it go slow. Okay, so let's talk pineapple. Excuse me, mango. You can cut fresh mango. You could actually do fresh mango. You can do canned mango. I know I'm not in the picture now. You can do canned mango. You can do, this is frozen diced mango that we use because mango's not always in great season, but it's something that is very simple to use when you're making a salsa. And again, I've got some made, but I'll just show you real quick. We got some, or you can cut a fresh mango. We got mango. And then we're going to take and dice up some onion. Basically, most of the ingredients that we just added in our chicken can go in the salsa. And you can adjust the sweetness, the heat, whatever you want with the salsa, especially a fruit salsa. And depending on how ripe the product is, type of year, I mean, you can get really sweet, get that sweet and get that heat, which is really what fruit salsas are about. You've got that double texture, that nuance going on to where everything is like, I'm turning this down to where you're getting that heat, but it's also super sweet. So peach salsas I love to make in the summertime when the peaches are just perfect. Nectarines, things like that are always good. Okay, so I'm putting a little jalapeno in there. So I've got mango, onion, going to be jalapeno, cilantro, lime juice, salt, pepper. You can put pepper in there for color. So if you're doing this, don't touch your eyes after you do this. That will hurt. It won't be fun. Been there, done that. I think everybody has. Okay, so I get some pepper in there. So again, just building the taco. And again, if you didn't want to do this, you can use your whatever salsa you like. But this is going to add, you're going to have this chicken with this depth from this Rick Bayless salsa. And then you're going to have this sweetness with this heat of this mango, and it's going to be totally different for you. It changes the whole complexity of the taco. So the size of what we're cutting here on the veg that is going into this, you know, you want to keep uniform. You want to try to keep it the same. You don't want to have giant chunks of mango and then tiny bits of everything else. You want to keep everything relatively the same. So we are going to need salt, always. About a teaspoon of salt, some lemon or lime juice. Really important. Again, cilantro. You can pick them off the stems if you like, depending on what you do. I don't go all the way down. I'm cutting this up small. Okay. So mango salsa. As soon as it's made, you'll have a taste and taste it, and then let it set. Let it set for an hour, 2 hours. Do it the day before. No more than the day before, but you know, a few hours before. Do it first in the morning if you're having it for lunch, and let it sit. Let those flavors develop. Really important to let that happen. It'll get better as it sets. The mangoes and all the juices will just start to meld together and create their own flavor profile. So here's our chicken. See, it's cooking down. The chicken is cooked. Now I'm just looking at the sauce that we got going on. We're going to taste that. Wow. A little bit more lime. Okay, so that's done. I'm sure the rice is done. That was done. So our rice, if you can see the rice, lots of smells coming out of that. It smells great. I'll taste that as well. It's got a lot of seasoning to it. Something I do with rice is I usually fold in butter. I'll take some cubes of softened butter and I'll fold in. I'm adjusting the seasonings at the end, so I'll put some butter in there and I'll let that butter melt in there. And if you wanted to, you put tomatoes in here, cilantro, you can put all kinds of things in here. The rice itself tastes really good. So this can set now for 15, 20 minutes, whatever you need, and until you're ready to use it. We need to taste our quick salsa. Needs a little bit more salt. And this is our mango salsa. And like I said, as it sets, it'll get better and better. This was made last night. And you can see, you know, it's got a little bit different texture. It's sauced out a bit and some great flavor right there. We'll use this on our tacos. I want to show you how to make that. Okay. So taco building. We are fortunate. We've got a taco holder. So a couple different ways to heat up, because you don't want to take them right out of the package. Something you can do is you could pop them in the microwave if you want, but we like to put a little love onto them. We'll heat them up in a pan real quick with a little oil, and get that going, because we're going to make 3 and plate that. So as that's getting, we're just warming that up. Doesn't take a lot on these. These are white corn tortillas. We want to make sure that if you overcook them or overbrown them, then they're not going to want to fold. And it's not a crispy taco. This is kind of like a soft street taco. So we just want to get a little heat into them, soften them up. Make sure I don't have excess oil on them, because nothing worse than an oily taco. So these are definitely ready. And again, woo, caliente. If you're one of my students, if you can't pick something up like that, that means you have pantry hands. That means you're not used to working with hot food. It takes the time. After a while, you get it. Okay, so on our taco build, we've got just shredded cabbage, green cabbage. We want a little base, a little salad base in there. You could marinate this with anything you wanted to, but I've got a lot of flavors already. So really, I'm just looking for the crunch of the cabbage, the crispness and the freshness of it. We soaked it in ice cold water so that we could have that little bit of a base. So now we're going to go with that beautiful, get a new spoon, that nice rice that we just whipped out. So we want to put some rice in here. If you didn't want to use rice, you can do beans. We did beans in the one before. Do some nice Hispanic beans, get some flavor on them. Refried beans, if you really want, you can do all that. Again, it's your flavors, your palates. Now this is, oh yeah. So this smells great. Now again, we got that great sauce. Let's show you that real quick up here when he turns. 1 second, he says. There you go. So you got this great, I mean, I wish you can smell this, really. It makes me want to stop and just eat right now. So we'll keep going so I don't do that. So we're going to put some of this beautiful chicken, tender chicken on the top here of these. And it doesn't take a lot. You know, there's 3 tacos here. They look small, but they're not. Once you're eating these, they are not that small. And now we're going to go with our beautiful mango salsa. Put some mango salsa on the top of this. And yeah. And the last thing, we made an avocado crema. We just pureed some avocados with some sour cream, some milk, and some salt and lime juice, and made this crema. So we just got this little bit of this avocado cream, which takes heat away and adds this umami flavor. And then all of a sudden you've got chicken tacos, simple chicken tacos. Lots of flavor. Look lovely? Yeah. Cameraman's going, oh my God. You can just smell that. So really simple. And again, this is something that you can change any flavors. The fact that we're using products like this makes it very simple. Really quick. This is only, what are we at? How many minutes did that take? Less than 30 minutes, 25 minutes or so, or 20 minutes. So it doesn't take long to do this from start to finish. You don't have to make sauces from scratch. You can pick any flavor profile. Out in the market today, there are so many different flavors of salsas, high-end, low-end flavor profiles. Find one that you like and use that as your base for your sauce. And then you can build on it. If you don't like peppers, don't put peppers in it. If you like kidney beans, put kidney beans in it. You can do anything you want to create very simple, very quick dishes. We could have garlicked it up and added a lot of fresh garlic to it and given it that kick. But you know, these already have this smokiness from the roasting of the peppers in here, which is really coming through with that nice simmering in the chicken with the lid on it. That's important too. You put that lid on that, and you get those flavors that are just going back onto each other and creating that incredible dish. Very moist, using that chicken thigh meat like we talked about instead of chicken breast. So it'll hold up better for you too. So if you're doing a party, not that you're supposed to, but if you're doing a party and had people at the house, this would be an incredible dish that you can do up in advance and have in a crock pot or on low or have warm that's going to be out there for a while that you're going to be fine with, and it's going to still be moist and it's not going to dry out on you. So chicken tacos. I think we are done we have time. So how about we're going to do bananas Foster. So I'm going to show you a traditional Brennan's from New Orleans bananas Foster real quick, and we'll have some fun with that because that's really fun to make. Let me get some ingredients over here real quick and clean up because we'll eat this later. I need my alcohol. We're just going to get that out of the way. Okay. Bananas Foster. Thank you for the ice cream. Look at that. Bam. Ice cream. Okay. Okay. So, Brennan's is a famous restaurant in New Orleans, and they created this in the 50s for one of their customers. Real simple. Bananas Foster, one of my all-time favorites. It's just good, and everybody likes it, from adults to kids, especially. You're basically making a caramel. You're adding a little liqueur to it, and then some rum, dark rum, Captain Morgan's, whatever you got, and dumping it on ice cream. How do you go wrong with something like that? So, and it's one of those dishes that was created to be tableside. So it's a flambe type style dish, so that you're doing this tableside as a show. So basically, we're going to start with a couple tablespoons of butter and about a half a cup of brown sugar. I don't have that much, but that's okay. And just a pinch of cinnamon. And what we're going to do is we're going to melt that. And they'd be doing this table side. We're creating a caramel. Now, I do something different. I do walnuts or pecans in mine, only because it's good. And it's one of those things that is not traditional, but once you've had it, you're like thinking, why don't they make that traditional? Why don't they put that in there? Because it's really good. So I'm going to throw that in there as well today. I forgot earlier. So I'm going to put some walnuts in here as we're creating our caramel. So I've got walnuts toasting in there. You need a banana liqueur. I've got this one, De Kuyper. If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world, but it adds so much more flavor to the dish itself. So again, we're getting everything melted together, creating this caramel, the butter, the sugar. Okay, so once we got that melted down like that, we need to add our bananas. And I cut them in half and then in half again, so they're like logs. That's traditional. And as that is in there like that, we can actually add our liqueur, the banana. Oh, you can just smell it. Okay. So we're just warming up the bananas. and turning them over. Maybe. There we go. Flipping, flipping. Good Lord, banana, get over it. Thank you. Now comes the rum. This is at the table, the flambe part. Up on the top, tilt it back in. If you want to get fancy, little sparklies with cinnamon. But basically, then it's just burning off the alcohol, adding that to the sauce. It smells. Can you smell it down there? Yeah, really good. And that's about it. That's like Bananas Foster. So this is going to go right now over vanilla ice cream. So back to table one here. Camera switch. There you go. So now we're going to plate it up. Try it in the most pleasing manner, depending on how you're doing it. And you got to have the sauce. The sauce is what, it makes it. So we made a whole bunch of these the other day in class, and there was so much of it, I started pouring it into a mixer, and at the end, I made a milkshake, for everybody. So we had milkshakes. Banana Foster milkshake, that's a new thing. So basically, that's it. Serve tableside Bananas Foster. Let me show you that. Turn on smell-o-vision for me. Got that? Bam. So Bananas Foster. And again, that was 3 calories just looking at it and a whole lot more smelling it. So if in the summertime, bananas you can do all the time. In the summer, try it with peaches, fresh peaches, nectarines, plums, any fresh stone fruit like that. You can do that, basically that same thing. You would change peaches. You'd maybe do a peach schnapps, play with it, put it over ice cream. I mean, you can do so much with this. And again, just learning those basic steps, make that caramel, deglaze, get those flavors in there, warm it up. That's about all you're doing. And this is incredible. And that's pretty much what I got. We've got, simple, fresh food, great tasting flavors, simple stuff. Any questions from anybody? Did I unmute her? Yeah.
How would you suggest?
What's that?
How would you suggest building the tools you need to survive, I guess, in the kitchen from scratch?
To survive building the tools? I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
Meaning, it's a lot more enjoyable to cook when you have the right tools. But you can't always buy them all at once.
That's very true.
So, some tips on what to start with first, like get good knives or which pans, that kind of thing.
Right. I think the most important thing if you're cooking at home and you're going to do this, pick some knives that you like. Don't listen to what everybody else tells you about, oh, this is the best knife or this is the best knife. The knife is just like anything else. It has to fit in your hand and you have to be comfortable with it. So I would absolutely suggest going out and feeling knives and touching knives. You can go to stores, Bar Green Ellingson's or restaurant supply stores and take a look. It needs to fit in your hand. I use Fortuner Victorinox, which are my knives, and I've been using those for 40 years. Other people like Henkel's, everybody likes those. So, and again, buying a big set of a very expensive professional knives is a big investment. So you can buy a chef's knife, a paring knife, a steel, and like a boning knife would be a great start. And then little by little, you get another one and you get another one. You don't have to have every knife that I have because you're not going to do everything that we do in the professional standpoint. I mean, I've got knives and knives and knives for everything, but you don't really need all of that. But a great chef knife, a great serrated knife, a great paring knife, a steel, and a boning knife is the basic set. Would be great start. And then again, start with your pans as well. You don't want thin metal pans. You want heavy bottom. I think the pans I'm using are Emerald Legacy pans, so they're copper bottom, thick, you know, and you can start off buying a couple of those and a couple of those. I did not buy everything at once. It's been a year, and I was on Amazon last night looking at another tool that I saw. So it's a continual for the rest of your life. And absolutely go to, when you can again, go to garage sales. You can find great knife kits and great knives that somebody doesn't want or even know what they are at garage sales. You can find them at, I have a friend who always goes to Goodwill, and they find Henkel's and really great knives for $10, and it's a knife that costs $150. So you just got to take your time and don't rush into it unless you can afford to go out and spend a few $1,000s and get everything at once. But most people can't, and it's just little by little. But don't think of the basics, like I said, the chef's knife and things like that, and start with some small pans, and you can go from there. And again, I'm still looking for things. I always look. So, have any more questions? Did you take them off? You can unmute yourself.
Thanks a lot. You made me hungry. I'm going to have lunch.
Yeah, I'm sitting here smelling this, so it's pretty nice. It smells great.
Well, it looks great. I'll tell you that. It looks really good.
Sure.
I'm a mile and a half away, and I'm like, oh man.
Well, I'm glad I can do this for you guys. I mean, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. If you have any other questions, I'm here at Renton Tech. We have classes. We've been doing it since the beginning. We're still going. So, and we still will be. We enjoy what we're doing. We have great students, and we love this. So we love sharing knowledge and helping anybody that wants help.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
You are welcome. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was really fun.
Bon appetit.
Thank you.
Thank you.